Hello everybody. Um this is gonna be my last video for the Apple group EM4254, aka E1B1A. I'm gonna tie it in. Um I know I made in the past many more video about the Apple group itself and its origin, because it's not many information that you get from Google and stuff about this Apple group. But we're gonna speak about the connection of this Apple group all the way to the Americas, which mean uh, what we call it, Mexico, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, and Madagascar, and all of those places, all the way down to the America, US, or the Caribbean and stuff like this. So the true origin of this Apple group, and many can debate if they want to debate or whatever they want. I found that is from Egypt. So this Apple group is near Sudan, near Egypt, um, and is in between those two places. Not, I can't say 100% for sure if it's only Egypt or only Sudan, but it started in Egypt or Sudan or in between those two. Then it migrated all the way to the East Africa, all the way to the Central Africa, all the way to Nigeria, and then it went down to the Guinea Bissau, Sierra Leone, all the way down to this last place in Africa, Senegal and Gambia and Mali, right? So those are the last place that this Apple group went at the last. Okay, when it finished, migrated from Senegambia and Mali or Senegal. It went all the way from Morocco all the way up to Spain. This is where you catch this Moorish element from this Apple group, with the Portuguese and the Spaniard and the Berber and the African, so they went there. From there, I believe they got captured and bring to place like Mexico, Puerto Rico, um also Venezuela, place the Latin, or perhaps the Latin or the Spaniard um countries, right? So they was enslaved there for a long amount of time. And many probably did after that escape to the America, or was brought forcibly to the Americas, which is could be the US, or probably to the Caribbean as well, right? So from there all the way to the US or the Caribbean, and this is the modern day that we have for the EM4254. Okay, and so this is all the ways of EM4254. That's why maybe can say that we are Israelite, that we are Kemetic, or that we are Moors. But we are actually all of this at one. All our ancestor went through all of these phases. So that's really not the matter of this video, but for the people that are wondering. Okay. So there I have um the information on EM4254 of people from the Latin community, or the Spaniard community. that had African ancestor, and don't understand how come they are Mexican, Puerto Rican, Venezuelan, but have African ancestor. Probably because they was not instructed, or they didn't have many people that have told them about the story of the slavery in Mexico and all of those places. So they was clueless about this, and it was wondering like, how come I'm looking white, but I have African ancestor, right? And it came back to what I've saying to the last video that I made. A lot of us before coming to the Americas, um, we were enslaved in those Spanish colonies, and we was there before migrated to the U.S. Right. So those people have made posts, and I will read it with you. So he is em4254, which is my Apple group as well. And just to let y'all know, I find that I had about 60 Puerto Rican and Mexican cousin that I don't know where they come from, and we only match the African part. Well, there it explained a little bit what it is, So it say, I grew up white, although there was a time when my body was trying to decide that what I was looking like in a pair 10. Cut 2 years later, I discovered my dad wasn't my real dad, and I had a Mexican dad. After doing a DNA test, I got the results and such. But I was until about a few months later, I read my Apple group and was surprised not only I did become Mexican, but I was now descended from African, right? So just like I explained you, us, EM254, we were, I don't know for the most part, but we were enslaved in Mexico, or Puerto Rico, or a place like this before coming to the modern day world, America. I will go read another one. There it say I am a Venezuelan, and my opera group is also EM254. So another one with an African with a lot of Hispanic uh, and native element or Latino element, but with an African ancestor, right? And then this one say, I never knew my father, but I got to meet family this past Thanksgiving for the first time, and his sister told me we had a black grandfather. She didn't remember how long ago. Her mind is going in and out. She's seen a wedding picture. I have a Spanish and Mexican, so who know if it came from Spain or escaped slave to Mexico, right? So the theory that they were that they escaped themselves in Mexico could be possible too, but I believe that they were brought to Mexico by force, right? By way of slavery. So you see, those people are people directly from Mexico, people that have Mexican nationalities with African ancestry, that recognize that they have African ancestry, and with the Apple group EM4254. And this is another one. Yes, there were African men in Mexico. They mostly absorbed into the Mexican population or die of war. So, they many are aware of this connection. And again, this just prove the point of this video. Like I said, so it's not new. This is a real story, and I think it important for people to know that not all of our ancestors were brought all the way straight up to America or to the Caribbean. No, some of us got from those places before coming there and the Americas. Okay, so I'm gonna read the last one. So it say, awesome to know this. Sadly, school in Costa Rica, which is a Costa Rican that's speaking right now, barely mentioned that we have recent African ancestry. Actually, most of Costa Rican will be surprised as the fact that we have slavery. The overall population don't know about this. Most people really believe that we basically Spanish with a little of Native American in there. There are this lies that Costa Rican are very different than their neighbor. So when I started doing my genealogy and I found out that I have several slave ancestors, my mind was blown. Since then, I specialize in genealogy and focus most of my work researching my recent African ancestry and the African roots of Costa Rican. Perhaps I hoping that I will get more SSA ancestry, considering that I have several lines going to mulattoes through my mother and my father. Sadly, no. But boom, EM4254. It seems like I have special connection after all. So there is a Costa Rican recognizing that he had um cousin that were African or enslaved African, and his roots are in his ancestry. And like I said, for people it can be surprising or fairly new, but this is a reality that is actually facts, right? So this is what EM4254 is about. Also, I won't say that after that, the African when they came to America, they got they were enslaved in Mexico and shit like that. But when they came in America, they were also enslaved by the European as well. So this is another part of a story as well. So the British, the German, and all of that. So yeah, even in the Caribbean as well. So those is the reason why you will find uh Puerto Rican cousin, Mexican cousin, or even Spanish cousin as you being African, and then you will also find that you have, European cousin as you is African is because is due to slavery. Is all due to slavery, and if you had those North African element within you, or all of those stuff native is also probably due to enslavement, but mostly due to a mix of the people that enslaved you, right? So this is really what I was needed to put a light on for EM4254 for the people that have this Apple group and need to understand myself, for the tribe that I have for this Apple group. I find that I had Yoruba cousins, and I even find someone mentioned that he was, but I seen it. He didn't mention it. He was 99% Nigerian, and he had Yoruba ancestry. From Ancestry 22andMe gave him the Yoruba land, even though they didn't mention Yoruba, but it say that it was Ogun States, which is the Yoruba land for the Yoruba. And me myself, I have Fulani, which when you look through the big Y, you see that the Fulani is very common for the EM4254. So I have Fulani, and I find other cousin Igbo, you know. So I don't know where those fit exactly, but I have a good idea, generally. Um, Based on what is the ancestry, and I say the Fulani will be from this side also, because we know that the Fulani were shipped in the Spanish or the South America place. So it makes sense that my ancestor were Fulani based on the fact that I was enslaved. My ancestor was enslaved in a place like Mexico, Puerto Rico, and place like that, all the way to America. It just makes sense. So this is a little light on what tribe you could receive based on EM4254. I really hope you guys appreciate this video. Comment, share what you think, and let's pray the light. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. All right, goodbye.